Hey everybody, welcome back to the Loony Bin. My name is Loony, and today I'm going to be doing a Loony internet moment that focuses more in the world of voice acting. It's not necessarily funny, it's more like a situation where a voice actor kind of started to go a little crazy online on Twitter or x.com, whatever you want to call it, and it kind of ruins their reputation and just basically, yeah, it's not a good look, and it's frankly loony to think that this was a thing that they did. They thought about doing it, or they didn't think about what they were doing and just constantly kept doing it. What I'm referring to is the controversy and this huge fiasco regarding the Bleach anime, the new Bleach anime, the Thousand Year Blood War arc that's currently airing. And apparently there was a fiasco about how the original voice of Yoruichi was recasted and was now being voiced by someone named Aniris Quinones. I apologize if I say her name wrong or their name wrong. And yeah, so basically, you know, Viz and the production company, the dub production company behind the voice actors, basically recasted Yoruichi. The previous voice of Yoruichi was a voice actress named Wendy Lee. She was she basically was the voice of Yoruichi from the very early days of the Bleach anime. She was a very iconic voice. People recognize the voice, and let's just say it snowballed into an area where, like, this isn't really how one should approach whether or not they were recasted or not. And it goes down a huge rabbit hole of just like really crazy decisions Viz Media made. It's really wild. So, to bring you up to speed, as I said before, Aniris Quinones was the new voice of Yoruichi. So when Yoruichi first premiered in the new Bleach anime, I think it was like recently in the last couple of weeks, she appeared, and her voice was different. People online noticed that this wasn't Wendy Lee voicing Yoruichi, right? And that caused a lot of people to start like questioning, why did they recast, you know, Wendy Lee? You know, why is Yoruichi's voice different? Who is this new person? You know, and stuff like that. And people got mad. People got really upset over it and were very vocal online. And something happened. I don't know exactly what occurred deep within the Viz Media, you know, basement or the studio. They all of a sudden decided to recast the new voice actress for Yoruichi with the previous voice actress for Yoruichi, Wendy Lee. So I'm assuming they gave into the audience, the fans who were really upset over the the recasting of Yoruichi. Something happened. They changed voice actress. They told Aniris Quinones that they were, switching directions. They got Wendy Lee back. She re-recorded the lines, and she basically, her voice is now replacing all the Yoruichi scenes. And that's a wild thing to think about, because that usually never happens. The only time it ever happens is usually when, like a voice actress passes away or anything like that. But most of the time they keep the original voice actress. The past stuff that they recorded, and then whatever new appears of the character, they just have the new voice actress record those lines. But that's not what happened in this case. They are replacing every single voice line that Aniris did for Yoruichi with Wendy Lee. And it's understandable. Wendy Lee is an iconic voice actress who played Yoruichi, so I guess that's fine. But like at the end of the day, it's like, why would Viz Media do that all of a sudden? Why would they change it? Now, whether or not the recasting was a Viz idea, or they just didn't want to bring Wendy Lee back, or maybe there was some sort of like scheduling mix-up or anything like that, like she couldn't do it. But it's very weird for Viz Media to do that. Now let's move on to the next part of this story, which turned into how do I put this? A petty thing that Wendy Lee eventually did on Twitter. So on Twitter, Aniris Quinones announced that the studio and client decided to go in a different direction, so I'm no longer voicing Yoruichi in Bleach TYBW, and my recordings will be replaced. I'm not allowed to take on such an iconic WOC. I appreciate all the love. I'll still be voicing Hiyori. you know, that's very class of her to announce this stuff. It's really weird that Viz Media did that, but you know, it's very class on her. And apparently people, other voice actors specifically, decided to, you know, try, you know, to tell, yo, I'm so sorry, you know, you were such a good fit, I'm really disappointed to see this. You know, they're just, you know, sad that like a voice actress had to get, you know, her voice replaced. And you know, that should have been it. But apparently Wendy Lee got angry, petty, to the point where she was literally commenting so much about like a lot of things that were very classless of her. She literally pointed out in one of her deleted replies and deleted tweets saying that, oh, you know, Anira's being casted was a mistake. I'm like, who says, like, why are you saying this? What do you mean it's a mistake? Wait, just because she was casted as a role that you played, that you were offered to return, means that you have to act like this? No, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. Yes, it's sad that you weren't able to return, but at the same time, you don't go around telling people that casting someone else in your role is a mistake. That is such a wild thing to say. It's a really mean thing. It's honestly disgusting. And there are so many other things that she said that are really wild. She's accusing, you know, of other voice actors who are, you know, sad that Anira's got recasted, saying that, oh, is it wrong to try to get the original cast back together, right? You know, and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Why are you getting angry at the voice actors who are just trying to support their fellow voice actor? It's literally, the voice acting community is literally like a club. It's like a, what's it called? A fraternity. You're all supposed to, you know, support one another. Not do what Wendy Lee did just because you're mad that you weren't brought back originally. It is so bizarre. Like, why would you say this? I that is beyond baffling that she would do this. And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. You would want to support your fellow voice actors because voice acting is a very tough industry. It's very hard to get in there. And the sad part is that Anira's quoted her as being one of her inspirations to be a voice actor. So to say this is like it must be such a goddamn gut-wrenching feeling to see someone you looked up to say stuff like this. It is beyond wild. And the worst part is that she started to delete these tweets. She literally started to delete these tweets so that, you know, nobody could, you know, remember she said this. But the internet always remembers. The internet always remembers. They will never forget. There's screenshots. People have taken screenshots. People take screenshots of some of the most random tweets in the world just in case one day it will be in their favor. There's also the backway machine on the internet where you could go back to a specific time period of a web page to see what was posted there. The stuff you post on the internet will hardly ever go away, no matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It won't go away. It's very difficult. It's just, this is such a petty thing to do. It's bizarre. It's weird. I don't get it. I feel bad for Anira, who probably was really looking forward to voicing Yorichi, a role that she was, you know, inspired her to become a voice actress. So it's just like, oh my goodness gracious, what are you doing, Wendy Lee? It's just it's so bizarre. Like, I have a friend who loves voice acting. She wanted to be a part of, you know, the voice acting fraternity. She worked on her voice. She could do a lot of different voices, and you know, she's very passionate about being a voice actor. And I never asked her about what she thought about this, but it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing to see something like this happen. It's like we're experiencing some sort of voice acting apocalypse because of other voice actors also, you know, having certain opinions on the internet. Now, you know, everyone has an opinion on the internet. I'm not going to judge everybody, but I still think this is something wild to do. God. But yeah, overall, it's just, this is not the way to go about this. I understand that you're upset that you didn't return, that you know, the voice you were most famous for or had, you know, most iconic for, you were replaced by somebody else, but that isn't something that is the voice actor's fault. It is the production company's fault. Now, I don't know what exactly happened, that caused them to, you know, make the change, but you should be blaming them, not the fellow voice actor who replaced you. That's not how you go about these things. It's a very tough business, and you could get replaced anytime at any place, and it's very hard to get jobs. So this wasn't needed. This wasn't needed for you to make these comments. So it's just really, really weird. I understand you're angry, but this whole fiasco is just so bizarre, and it's sad to see like a voice actor doing this to another fellow voice actor when it should be the production company who is responsible for, you know, the changes and stuff like that. And what's funny is that Chad, who the voice actor for Chad, was also replaced. And the person who voiced Chad was literally like the nicest person in the world, who literally gave an explanation as to why he was recasted, and it was because he decided against it because, you know, he wanted to give people, you know, of color the role of voicing a color person in anime or cartoons and stuff like that. That's, you know, admirable. That's, you know, that's great. I fully understand his decision and why he supports that. But not what Wendy Lee did. So it's just a really crappy situation all around. Hopefully I got all the, you know, facts and up-to-date situation about what's happening with this situation. If not, please let me know in the comments something I missed, you know, something that maybe you disagree with what I said. You know, that's great. That would be really great to hear. But overall, this is just a really, really loony moment on the internet that unfortunately isn't funny. It's just really loony to think that this would happen. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame, but hopefully this gets resolved and she apologizes for her comments and stuff like that. So who knows? But thank you for watching. Hopefully I explained the situation a little bit better for you guys. And yeah, comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more loony internet moments or anything like that. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys soon.